What's going on? It's Justeeni here, and today we've got some more Polysseum Grand Finals content. I know already, this time Xin-Xi month, and it's on a small Conti. We're going against Signor Avanzo, very good, very experienced player. He plays a lot of Polytopia, and yeah, let's just get right into things. So, starting off, I find a ruins but no village, but I do find the village there. It's pretty far away, but I do find that village there. I get riding, not ideal, but we're gonna have to make it work, because otherwise we don't have a whole lot closer to capital, really just this city over here. But we develop as Xin-Xi does. Very slowly, but getting there. It's a mirror match, so slow development is to be expected from both sides. But we're workshopping it up because it's continents. I make a rider here just to explore a little faster, you know, might as well make use of the tech. I get fishing because I've got the coastal capital and I want to explore the waters quickly. It's also just going to help port connections to get a faster giant on my capital, because I can't really go like smithery unless I also get forestry. So I'd rather go fishing instead. And I actually managed to find a ruins here, which is pretty nice. And I go for this connection. And I actually decide to not use the gold here to level up, which the reason why is because I want to level up with a port connection instead. Since I plan to place a port here anyway, I wouldn't really be spending anything to level up the city as opposed to spending 5 stars. I know I get the 5 stars back, but if I do with a port connection, then I spend nothing and get 5 stars back, which is a little better. Though, in retrospect, it might be a misplay just because I am going to eventually get this mine, so it might be worth picking up right now. Though it's tough to say. I do find the opponent though, get organization, and yeah, I prefer organization to hunting here because of this city right here, which can actually get a giant if I get a monument. And really, that's actually the main reason, but yeah, I go organization. And yeah, I use the port connection instead of the gold. I get another explorer. I do find their capital. And it looks like we both had not the most ideal density, but it seems like I might have actually gotten a little bit of a better spawn, surprisingly. And yeah, we're getting into the water at around the same time. So they don't get like saline or anything. And then they border growth their capital, and I see why. They have a great forge spot, so they're gonna giant very soon. I don't have a very fast route to giant unless I get pop growth from this ruin. Then I actually have quite a fast route to a giant. Of course, instead of getting the ruins though, I actually just go for the siege right away because I was hoping they might not be ready to unsiege, but they are. However, I still get the ruins anyway, so I felt like it was worth risking. Because like, if it doesn't pan out, that's fine. And if it does, then it's great. It doesn't pan out in this case, which is fine. They do some more developing. Still not getting sailing. Again, playing it very greedy. I find another ruins, which is pretty neato. And yeah, I get another nice kill here. I get this lighthouse. I'm really just doing this to get population on my capital. And I also get a nice pew on the giant. And then I get this border growth. And then I accidentally do some math wrong. I thought I could get a giant this turn for some reason, but I can't, fun fact, so I just wasted a bunch of stars. I was gonna get the giant next turn, but I could have at least made some units, so it's a minor setback. Then yeah, we see Signor Avanzo getting rammers trying to counter my scouts directly. And so I send the scout back here, really cheeky, because now they have to send their juggernaut away. They might not have vision on this tile specifically, so they might actually have to move on to land, which slows them down a lot. And because they haven't gotten sailing, even if they do have vision here, they have to go here, then back, then here. So it could actually delay them quite a bit just trying to kill this one pesky scout. That's why I'm putting it all the way back here. It's just to be super annoying. And then I get a resource ruins, which is huge. And I just pick up this lighthouse. Also, another thing is that the city, I can get an explorer, and I've got a good chance of Eye of God. I already have the other lighthouses. and Explorer's funneled exactly where I need it. And I get my first giant going, and I'm feeling pretty good about things. Because I've actually got my second giant before he has his second giant, and I've got good water control. I mean, the one issue is I do have to deal with this, but I get a hunting runes, which is pretty nice. The screen really likes to scroll down for some reason. But yeah, I just need to defend this Juggernaut here, which should be no problem, really. And then it's smooth sailing from there. Pun kind of intended, I guess. But yeah, now I get the monument, which I can actually use to get a giant on Tutu. And yeah, I prepare it. I don't get it yet because I don't need to, but I do get the city level up. And I'm also just pressuring with this vet sword in a very annoying way. Yeah, but they kill it. They've got the firepower to do so. They don't bother trying to attack my cities because they can't. They're just trying to fight for naval dominance, but it's not really happening because I've got my juggernauts here. Then I go for roads because I can actually get Grand Bazaar and just develop my economy quite a bit. Because this is a 6-on-5 and I've got the naval dominance and I've got 3 giants to his 1 now. So I'm feeling really good about things. So I'm up 2 monuments, I'm up multiple super units, and I'm up a city, and I'm definitely at an economy at this point as well. Again, they try to fight back, but there's not a whole lot that can be done. I just have to not fall for any tricky shenaniganery. I go for forestry just to make use of my Gate of Power. I believe I still have my Grand Bazaar just in the pocket. Yeah, I used it over here at Lillepo and start developing even more. Like, they're trying to chip away at my juggernauts, and there's the forestry and smithery that I was talking about earlier, which is going to get them a lot of giants, which it is a little scary, but I do have the naval dominance, so I'm actually able to take out their giants, and they're going to struggle to take out mine. So I'm still up in super units all the same. Like, this is quite the advantage. Like, there's another giant, and there's another giant, but it's still not going to be enough. And I'm just going to be able to chip away at them, and they're not going to be able to chip away at me. I get strategy. Eventually I want to get cloaks as well, but strategy is just going to really help solidify the naval dominance and allow me to siege safely with defenders rather than trying to risk it with a giant. But I go on this side because there's no giants here and go get a really annoying siege. I also do this because I want to siege here, but I don't want them to Justeeni because I figured that could be a possibility if they get math and maybe plus something else. So I decide to play it safe. And I decide to also not even siege, but I'm pressuring the capital so much. They can't Justeeni. This is under pressure. They've got 2 weak points and they can't defend at all. I'm at such an advantage and I'm not going to let it go. So currently 1-0, but things can easily turn around. So I'll cut to the next match. All right, so match 2. And one thing you'll notice is we both have lighthouse spawns. So this might change things just a tad bit. And I also don't have host advantage, and also there's some bridge spots. So this game might end up quite a bit different than the last one. I find a ruins and a village, and look at all these mines. Look at all these mines. Wow. Yeah, absolutely insane. And yeah, I'm not going for the ruins with the second warrior because I wanted to expand faster. I can just pick up the ruins later. And geez, yeah, look at these forge spots. So I'll show like the rest of the exploration first, and then you can really take some time to appreciate what is about to happen. Because it's gonna be a little crazy. And yeah, I'm just training a warrior, get the lighthouse, get the ruins, naturally. And I'm just using my mines to get as much eco as I can because I'm about to get smithery and forestry. And yeah, so my economy's doing pretty well. And so yeah, these are all the cities that I'm going to have this game. Just look at these forge spots. So I need to get forestry, which is the downside. But once I do, I've got a 2 right here. Hold on, that is terrible handwriting. 2 right here. I've got a 3 right here. I've got a 2 right here, 2 right here, and a 4 right here. Which also translates to some amazing market potential, which you might possibly see later. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And also, I'm about to get a giant. So there's that as well. So I get my first giant on turn 9, which is pretty decent. But also, I already have forestry, so I just need to get smithery, and I am cooking. So yeah, I basically just passed the turn to get the smithery going. And yeah, insanely efficient, just 5 stars per forge. And it's just, yeah, just look at that. I also pick up organization, get some more giants, more eco going. I can also pick up fishing for even more super unit potential. So yeah, everything's just looking amazing. My eco, for Xin-Xi standards, it's pretty good. So, and then I finally meet the opponent, giving me 11 stars. And yeah, 62 stars at the start of this turn because I save all my stars here, ready to get trade. Which I would have been able to afford even without the median stars, but now with it, we go from 27 star per turn on turn 12 to on turn 13, 45, and it's only gonna go up from there. That is insane. Another market and another market, 51 star per turn, and we're getting fishing, 52. 53, and I have 4 giants already on turn 14. And I also make a bridge here, 54 star per turn with 5 giants, 55. Absolutely crazy. And they can't really attack into me because I just have a ton of giants. Like, what are they gonna do? I decide to go put these juggernauts in the ports, which they are vulnerable there, except they're not actually vulnerable. I'm just gonna buy a quadism because I can afford it. And I make some riders because I plan to make some bridges, even more than I already have. I can make more than just this one. There's a spot here. I'm gonna absolutely go a little crazy. Now, yeah, I decided to go in here as well and just splash around. I get sailing. I attack this, of course. I make sure they can't Justeeni, and I get archery for the defense boost, and also to get archers. You know, that's a good reason to get archery. But they have a lot of forests and a lot of giants which can be poked at with archers, so why not? They are going to be able to kill that giant, but because of the defense boost, it takes a little more damage. So when this next giant comes in, it's going to hurt. They giant push here, but I was expecting it. I'm ready with the archers. I'm swinging in. No poly calculator, by the way. I perfectly calculated this. As in, I guessed, and I was right. And I was rewarded for guessing. But we don't talk about that. And then I get strategy just to make things cheaper. You know, I may have a lot of start per turn, but that does not mean I can play inefficiently, especially since they do have markets as well. Like, yeah. There's nothing wrong with playing efficient when you have a lot of economy. Just always play efficient. And yeah, now I'm really starting to get some naval dominance because the quadism is getting massive value. I go for a siege here. I know that they have the catapult, but I'm planning on just double sieging, get a rammer here. Once again, chip away. And look at that, another perfect. Exactly 17 HP. That is the exact amount of HP to kill. And I had exactly enough units. Twice in a row. I'm just too good at this game. And I also get a knight because now I'm going to kill their catapult. It's close enough. And while they can unsiege, what about this city? Yeah, they can't unsiege that one. So Besides the fact that I'm going to take this, I also siege this and this. I siege with the 20 HP because I was thinking that they had absolutely nothing to unsiege, and, you know, like I could explore with this giant or put it in the port after. They might have actually been able to unsiege this, so this might have been a misplay. But regardless, I'm completely winning anyway, so it doesn't matter. And that's a really quick way to win a Polysseum tournament. Jeez Louise. I kind of feel bad because, like, most of the times I just kind of got better spawns, but that's Polytopia sometimes. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like and sub, and have a good one.